So I want to talk a little bit about getting older in music. The reality is that if you keep playing and practicing and maintain some semblance of decent health, the older you get, the better you get. And traditional societies recognized that and actually honored a lot of their older artists, even if they hadn't gotten famous. Our current situation is that if you did get famous when you're young, you're still honored as you get older. But it's a little different for someone like me who was never famous when I was younger, but I now play better than I ever played, sing better than I ever played, and write better songs than I ever wrote, or at least as good as, but a lot of them better. On the other hand, I am definitely not young and cute anymore. I have a lot less hair. My face maybe might show a few years. Things like this. So a lot of you may know that I've been a street musician extensively, and most recently in the good weather over the summer, I was playing by a local ice cream shop near where I live, which drew a pretty wide variety of people, but a whole lot of college kids, a lot of high school kids, a lot of families, that kind of thing. And what was interesting is I saw with the college kids that once you set aside the differences in music, because of course musical tastes have changed tremendously, and so there is that, if you're not playing something people like, in general, it doesn't matter whether you're 19 or 99. But anyway, I saw that for a lot of these college kids, probably about a third of them didn't even really notice me at all, I think based on age. They're just like, it's an old guy, doesn't matter at all. On the other hand, I was very pleasantly surprised that there was a certain amount of the college, and especially the high school kids, who thought it was the coolest thing in the world that some older guy was still out there rocking out. And I was rocking out a lot of times, not just playing mellow stuff. And then there were a bunch who just listened to the music, and if they liked it or didn't like it, so be it. I was actually quite encouraged by that. However, on the other hand, I see with a lot of my other older friends who grew up in the era of, hope I die before I get old, which, Robert Daltrey sang in one song with The Who, they're like, oh, man, it's too late, too old, whatever. So the good part is that in our current era of the internet, if you can market yourself so people at least have the chance to be aware of who you are, there are potential audience of millions and billions of people, and you know what? A certain percentage of them are going to like what you do or not like what you do. I saw that when I lived in a house in San Francisco many years with bits and pieces of 6 different bands. And we had everything from Carolina Rainbow, which was an art band who did nothing but paint props all day long and hardly even knew what an instrument was, just basically a prop to dance around with, to a band called the Rhythm Pigs with Ed Ivy. And they were from Texas, and they could play the shit out of their instruments. They were highly technically complicated. And then a bunch of other bands. We had a punk band called Half Blind. We had a band, Barry from RKL, lived there. And my band, The Divers, with Harriet, my girlfriend, on drums, and occasional other people, and Loyd Love there for a while, and Cody from the Burning Witches, and we had a lot of different stuff. And I saw that every band had people who liked what they did. Didn't matter what you did, there was an audience there for you. So this is pretty much what I hold on to at this point as the years go on. And I do eat well and do yoga and stuff like that, so all things being equal, I'll probably stay pretty healthy and pretty able to pick up the guitar and play. So that's just a little venting there. I hope you've been enjoying this podcast, and you can always check out my website, www.rogertaltrey.com. There is a donation button on the website if you'd like to help support the podcast. All right, blessings to all.